Thank you, Sal.
I sign.
This meeting of the South River Mayor and Borough Council, meeting number 18, held today on December 4th, 2023, is hereby called to order. Statement of notice of publication, Madam Clerk.
In compliance with Chapter 231 of Public Law of 1975, notice of this meeting to be held at the Criminal Justice Building, 61 Main Street, South River, has been published in the Home News Tribune on January 6, 2023, posted on the Municipal Building Bulletin Board, the Borough website, the front door of the Criminal Justice Building at 61 Main Street, South River.
Okay, thank you. Roll call.
Mayor Krenzel?
Here.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Here.
Councilman Gerchensky?
Here.
Councilwoman Mira?
Here.
Councilman Oliveira?
Here.
Council President Ciula?
Here.
Please stand for the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. Please be seated. There's no proclamations, honors, awards, and presentations. There's nothing with the agenda session. One thing we will change is because two of our members have to leave early, we will be holding the consent resolutions after the ordinances. Moving on to the ordinances, second reading, 2023-28. Madam Clerk.
Ordinance 2023-28, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code of the Borough of South River so as to amend Chapter 258 entitled Property Maintenance.
Make a motion, waive the full reading.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mr. Ciula, seconded by Mrs. Ballas. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? The ayes have it. Opening this up to the public for your comments. It concerns an ordinance that we have to require to have a salt shed to protect the salt that we use on the roads. You may come forward and ask any questions or make any comments on first call, second call, third call.
Motion to close.
Motion by Mr. Gerchensky to close, seconded by Mrs. Ballas. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? The ayes have it. Your pleasure on the ordinance.
Move the ordinance.
The ordinance has been moved by Mrs. Ballas, seconded by Mr. Oliveira. Discussion?
I have a question, Mr. Mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Who asked to put this one on the agenda?
No, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was required by state law.
It was. The Department of Transportation requires all municipalities to adopt protections for the salt just to prevent environmental issues such as the salt draining into the water, and that's why.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman Gerchensky?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mira?
Yes.
Councilman Oliveira?
Yes.
Council President Ciula?
Yes.
The ordinance has been adopted. Ordinance 2023-29.
Ordinance 2023-29, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code of the Borough of South River so as to create Chapter 261, which shall be entitled Redevelopment.
Make a motion, waive the full reading.
Second.
A motion has been made to waive the full reading by Mr. Ciula, seconded by Mrs. Ballas. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? The ayes have it. Opening this up to the public. You may come forward. Please give your name and address and ask any questions or make any comments on first call, second call, third call.
Motion to close.
Motion by Mr. Gerchensky to close, seconded by Mr. Ciula. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? The ayes have it. Your pleasure on the ordinance.
Move the ordinance.
The ordinance has been moved by Mr. Gerchensky,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Oliveira. Comments, questions?
Just as well, who asked to put this one on the agenda?
It was recommended that we have a redevelopment ordinance. It was recommended by the attorney so that when somebody comes and wants to redevelop property, we would be able to have an ordinance that we can point to and say, this is what you need to do. These are the costs that are involved.
And then we, Borough Council is the one who becomes the redevelopment agency?
That is correct.
Okay, and would this only fall in our redevelopment zone?
Yes.
Okay, that was my only question.
Anyone else? Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman Gerchensky?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mira?
Yes.
Councilman Oliveira?
Yes.
Council President Ciula?
Yes.
The ordinance has been adopted. Ordinance 2023-30, Madam Clerk.
2023-30, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code of the Borough of South River so as to amend Chapter 155 entitled Fees.
Make a motion to waive the full reading.
Second.
Motion has been made to waive the full reading by Mr. Seula, seconded by Mr. Gerchensky. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? The ayes have it. Opening this up to the public. You may come forward. Please give your name and address. You can ask any questions or make any comments on first call, second call, third call.
Move to close.
Motion has been made to close by Mrs. Ballas, seconded by Mr. Seula. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? The ayes have it. Your pleasure on the ordinance.
Move the ordinance.
The ordinance has been moved by Mr. Gerchensky, seconded by Mr. Oliveira. Comments? Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman Gerchensky?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mira?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
The ordinance has been adopted. Ordinances, first reading by title only. We have 2023-31. Madam Clerk?
Ordinance 2023-31, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code of the Borough of South River so as to amend Chapter 22 entitled Boards, Commissions, and Authorities.
Your pleasure on the ordinance.
Mayor, I move that the council pass ordinance 2023-31 on its first reading by title only, and the clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law with a second reading and public hearing to be held on December the 18th, 7 p.m., by video conference via Zoom or in the council chambers of the Criminal Justice Building, 61 Main Street, South River, New Jersey.
Second.
The ordinance has been moved by Mr. Seula, seconded by Mrs. Ballas. Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman Gerchensky?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mira?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
We will revisit this on December the 18th. Ordinance 2023-32.
Ordinance 2023-32, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, authorizing the sale of Block 105, Lot 18.01 to Charmaine Larkin and Jess Buffalino in accordance with the provisions NJSA 40A:12-13.
Your pleasure on the ordinance.
Mayor, I move that the council pass ordinance 2023-32 on its first reading by title only, and that the clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law with a second reading and public hearing to be held on December the 18th, 7 p.m. by video conference via Zoom or in the council chambers of the Criminal Justice Building, 61 Main Street, South River, New Jersey.
Second.
The ordinance has been moved by Mr. Seula, seconded by Mrs. Ballas. Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman Gerchensky?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mira?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
Very good. We'll revisit this on December the 18th. As I said, we're going to move to the consent resolutions because our two members have to leave. Madam Clerk, if you can go to the consent resolutions.
Whereas Resolution 2023-01 authorizes the Borough Council to utilize a consent agenda to adopt various resolutions of a routine and non-controversial nature at one time. Now therefore be it is hereby resolved that the below listed resolutions are hereby adopted by the Borough Council in whole, as if the same were individually acted upon. Consent Resolutions 2023-332 to 2023-345. 332, authorizing no annual power cost adjustments for 2024. 333, resolution canceling federal and state grant receivables and appropriation reserve balances. 334, resolution accepting a bid from the public sale of borough property. 335, authorize the requisition of funds for payment to the custodian of school monies. 336, resolution appointing James Urick as part-time dispatcher. 337, transfer of year 2023 budget appropriations. 338, cancellation of outdated stale items. 339, authorizing place-to-place transfer application of a plenary retail consumption license. 340, authorize certain utility refunds. 341, approval to submit a grant application and agreement for cybersecurity. 342, accept November 13, 2023 regular and executive session minutes. 343, authorize the bills and claims list. 344, resolution appointing Cultural Arts and Heritage Commission member. 345, resolution to submit and execute a grant agreement with the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs.
Your pleasure on the resolution.
Move the consent.
The resolution has been moved by Mrs. Ballas,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Seula. Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman Gerchensky?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mira?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes, with the extension of 343 Following numbers 23-03058, 02761, 02904, 02905, 02975, 03001, 03054, and 03159.
Okay. Thank you. The consent resolution has been adopted. CFO is happy. The bills have been paid. All right, going back to our agenda, reports. Thank you for your patience, sir. Mr. Koch.
Going quick, thank you.
Don't jinx us.
Actually, it's taking a very long time. The 2023 local aid program is the project we are working on. The 2023 transportation projects grant, we applied for a grant, have not heard back yet. The 2024 local aid program, you got a $606,000 grant. We submitted a proposal on that. I'm sure you can wait till next year to move that along, but whenever you're ready is fine. There's a 2024 local transportation projects grant. If you have other roads that you'd like to submit, please let me know, and we will get those submitted for you. The substation maintenance, we had the pre-construction meeting. I have to finish the minutes and get them out, but a contractor is going to start, I think, the next week or so, and I'll issue the notice to proceed. And then the stormwater assistance grant, they have the location of all the inlets in town, is my understanding, and they are going to move ahead with some of the other work, which is connecting the pipes, which is part of it as well. And it should be another grant for that next year from the DOT in the order of another $25,000.
Okay, very good. Any questions for Bruce?
I do, Bruce.
Yes.
I saw that we did receive the proposal for you regarding the work on Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
I know it's not on here, but are we discussing how we'll be moving forward with the Fitzpatrick Park? Anyone?
We're looking to include it in the capital budget of next year.
Okay. Because your proposal will be good for,
It'll be fine.
it'll be
We'll hold
fine.
it. Sure.
Okay, my other question to the council is, we asked for the proposal for the park. Have we asked Bruce to come up with a proposal for our water infrastructure yet? Is anybody planning on asking Bruce to come up with a proposal for that?
We're looking into this.
Our engineering consultant that's working with the treatment plant operator is working on, we have submitted with the fees to the DEP for the chemical change, and he is working on a plan on the target area, which is the best way to address the first area. We have to break the town up into zones, the worst to the best, and start with the worst. And he's in the progress of working on that.
For the chemical part of it?
No, for the replacement of pipes.
Okay. Okay, so we'll be using the engineer and the consultant from the water company. Is that what we're saying?
Right now, it's under discussion.
With who?
Be under discussion with the budget committee and with the mayor and council.
Okay.
There are RFPs out for water treatment plant engineer for 2024, depending on who the mayor and council wants to pick as their engineer for the water treatment plant. That'll depend on who does the work.
Okay, but the water treatment plant and the infrastructure, wouldn't that be different?
No. The water treatment plant and the water system is all the same thing.
Okay, so why wouldn't the utility committee be in charge of that?
It's a budget item. First of all, we have to know who gets appointed. Once we get appointed, we need to get numbers on what they're going to charge. And we have to see, we
Okay,
have to put that into the budget included in the cost of doing the installation.
so we've had this
So
from,
it's a capital project.
So we've had this information from the consultant from the water company since July. And now we're gonna wait until the budget committee for next
Under
year?
the original contract that is still open, he is working on breaking up into town into areas and telling us how many feet of pipe, how many hydrants, how many valves, how many loops we may have to do before we can go out and get any idea of the cost.
Okay. That's all I have for you, Bruce.
Anyone else to Bruce? Thank you. Thank you, Bruce. Mr. Zenga?
Nothing to report.
Nothing? Okay, very good. To our head of DPW?
Yes, Mayor. On Monday, December 25th and January 1st, we'll be closed for the holidays. There'll be no yard waste pickup on both of them days. That's all I have.
All right. Anything for age? No? Okay. Nothing? Okay, nothing from our police? Anything from the clerk's office?
No.
No? Legal?
Nothing at this time.
Okay, BA?
The only thing I want to report is that our new code enforcement officer is progressing quickly, falling into place, it's working out well.
Very good. Okay. Then our reports. Mrs. Ballas, anything to report?
I have nothing to report from my committees. I do have a cultural arts meeting next week. But as a report on the commission, I'd like to congratulate the rec department for their wonderful job at the tree lighting. It was, if you get a chance, go down and see it. It looks beautiful at night. And that's it.
Okay. Mr. Ciula?
No report at this time, Mayor.
Okay. Mr. Olivera?
As Councilwoman Ballas said, I just want to give a huge shout out to Terry and Jessica. The Christmas tree lighting was a spectacular event. They did an awesome job. Believe it or not, they put the lights on the tree. Age on the trees, not in the pond. Age, thank you to the DPW, the electrical department. We couldn't have done it without you guys. You guys did a fascinating job, awesome partners. And as Councilwoman Ballas said, if you have the opportunity, please go out there. It really is a beautiful sight. They put lights around the gazebo, the trees, and they're even considering leaving the lights all year round for age to have to change sometimes. So, again, please go out there. It really is a beautiful sight to see, and I just want to thank them for all their hard work.
Yeah, the ones on the trees, a nice touch. So, Mr. Gruchensky?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few things. The Office on Aging is having their Christmas mingle on Wednesday. Hopefully everybody that has applied for it has bought their tickets and is waiting in line. On the 22nd and the 25th, Christmas Day, they will be closed. Also on New Year's Day, I believe they will be closed too, also. With that, that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Mara?
Yes, with the library board, I just want to mention that tomorrow, December 5th at 6 p.m., they will have a macrame Christmas gnome event at the library. If you want to come down, make a little gnome. They've got a lot of fun things for Christmas if you stop by. They have grab bags to take home. And they're also in the process of interviewing for a new library director. Evelina will be retiring soon, so we will miss her dearly. And the Environmental Commission, I'll save it for Richard if he's got anything to say today, but we have one more meeting this year. I do want to say we have a great group of volunteers that seems to grow every meeting that we do have. We're trying to accomplish the rain garden at the schools, cleanup events, getting people more involved and more environmentally aware of things. So I appreciate all that they do on their behalf. And I know last meeting they had a long meeting trying to get the tree removal applications going. So I thank them for what they do all year round. They really work hard and put a lot of effort into what they do as an environmental commission, a green team, and an advisory, shade tree advisory board. So thank you to them. The schools, all I have is that between this week and next week, there's a lot of holiday concerts. The primary school is also having a winter soiree. A lot of things going on with the kids there, and I just want to wish everybody a healthy holiday within the school district. I know a lot of people have been getting sick, so please remind your kids to wash their hands and cough in their elbow like the nurses say. But that's all I have for now, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, that's a good point, because a lot of adults don't do that. They cough in their hand and then they, touch something, so, All right, I'll save my comments to the end. Public comments. I knew there was something else. Okay, public comments. You'll have 10 minutes to speak. You can ask questions, make comments. Please give your name and address.
I'm Dorianne Kerber, 24 Riva Avenue, Milltown. I'm on the green team. And in terms of the rain garden, Rutgers will be doing the project. They hired a contractor, and the request is that Public Works assists with removal of the old soil and removing it, so that this way the project doesn't get delayed and it gets done in one day. And this way they're going to be doing it towards the vacation time for the school, so that we're not in the way of the construction crew, because there's not going to be any construction that week. Steve notified us. So we're hoping that Public Works will pitch in. When they do, there's two things. We get additional sustainable Jersey points. And number two, when he uploads his report for New Jersey Clean Communities or the NJDEP, he gets credit as well. And the more that we do together as a collaboration, as a partnership, the more funding we're going to get. I know this for a fact. So I'm hoping that, we will be able to have Public Works take out, I don't know how many yards of dirt it will be. It was shrunk from 25 feet to, I think, 20 foot, as opposed to what was laid out, just to make it more viable for the kids to not be in the way of the construction crew or entering in the areas of the rain garden. So that's my concern is I'm hoping that Public Works can, because they're putting most of the bill, I would hope that Public Works can come and remove the discard the soil. So that's what my request is at this time. In addition, we do have Sustainable Jersey grants coming up for $2,000, $10,000, and $20,000. It's due mid-February, so hopefully we will get that together, and you can apply for the $2,000 and the $10,000 or $20,000, whichever you decide to do with the Environmental Commission and Green Team as a combined effort. There are lots of other grants coming up. They have the Complete Streets, and just so you know, there was big advertisements on the radio that for every town that has Complete Streets, you're more than guaranteed funding for roadways as well as green streets or anything that you're going to be doing with public safety in mind. And I was like, yeah, Milltown has one. I champion that. I want to champion it here. And hopefully apply for it. It involves collaboration with everyone, the elected officials, Public Works, Police Department, and it's really beneficial because now you're going to be looked at, okay, you did the Complete Streets policy, you went through and you get this document, I didn't bring it tonight, and it gives you all ideas of what to do at certain corners to enhance your walking, particularly since pedestrians and bicyclists' deaths are up in New Jersey. It hasn't gotten decreased. We thought it would. It's been increasing. So, and in Middlesex County, we did sign off on a Vision Zero policy back in 2019. And they're looking to do multiple projects with towns. I've reached out to the county, and they've asked me. There's also, Edison is applying for a grant, and I'm hoping to include South River. You'll know more about it after we have our meeting in the next couple of weeks. They want to take and encompass several towns to do green infrastructure projects or pollinator gardens or whatever is planting of trees, whatever the home combination is. This particular grant is only geared towards Middlesex County only. So we have a pretty good chance. They've involved Montclair University. We have Rutgers University, Chris Abrupta, myself as liaison between county and county officials as well. So hopefully, if we decide to get this together and say, yes, let's pick these locations and do this, we can really, enhance our town, reduce flooding, and increase, awareness of all this to the town. And it benefits the residents, it benefits your businesses, as well as anybody in the town visiting and touring. And the more beautification you do, the more you do for flood mitigation, the less likely you're going to have many, many issues. And there's a multitude of projects which I'll present at the January meeting that we can focus on. I can do a presentation as well, just so that everyone can see it more and understand it more. And of course, Bill Neary will be here for the Street Smart campaign next year as well, so that we do the combination. It's so important. Safety is important. We want to make sure our residents are safe, and anyone visiting our town here in South River. So that's my take. There's many more grants coming up for green infrastructure, as well as the one from Middlesex County with Edison, but also with Sustainable Jersey and the U.S. EPA and U.S. DEP. So they're coming down the pipeline. Things are due different dates, but the more we do, the more we talk about it, the more we get input from people, it's going to be really beneficial.
Very good. See Mr. Soares and Mr. Lindensky afterwards about the soil.
Yeah, because the one question I have real quick, when is the rain garden going in?
If we get support from Public Works, then they'll be able to, it's going to be the last week between Christmas and New Year's.
Okay.
But not,
Because you're right, Art, because we're going to have to see if the Board of Ed, being it's their property, if they'll allow us to do that. Do we know if they've allowed it?
I got confirmation from Steve. He's the ground supervisor, and he said that was the best time to do it.
Okay.
Recommend, though, that you get it in writing, that you're allowed to go on the Board of Education's property when there's no one there.
Okay.
Yeah, we have all emails. So
No, I
we
believe
can
you. It
share.
really is not, it's just a matter of liability. No, it's
Right.
not that I don't
Right,
believe you.
no, we understand.
Thank you.
Okay, Richard?
Good evening, Richard Byrne, 11 Bissett Place, on the Environmental Commission as chair. And so the only difference between what's happening now is that we're still asking the same thing for Public Works to do the remove the old soil. Rutgers is hiring a contractor, so the commission members and our volunteers aren't going to be doing the planning. The Rutgers hired contractor will be doing that work. So basically, they upgraded their offer to do this for us. So they're doing the labor now too, except for the excavation. So, and I'm personally excited because I want to see this thing go in, and there's I have a problem with water coming off the house and going, and there's a spot right in front of my house would be perfect. So I'm like getting this, I want to see it so I can design my own one out and sort of get this water going the other way instead of into my basement. So so that's good. So in other news, with our great Governor Phil Murphy, he on November 21st announced a clean air zero emission vehicle standard, which, yay, we're going to get rid of these internal combustion engines. And so by 2027, they're going to require 50% of all new vehicles to be zero emission, which in all practicality means electric vehicles. And then all new vehicles will be 100% zero emission by 2035 under regulations about to be proposed, which, thanks to Charlie Cradaville, who came here and spoke to us a bunch of times, successfully got that nasty gas plant that was going to be built in Woodbridge canceled. You probably read that Ørsted, who was the contractor building the wind farm off of Atlantic City, which was going to be, I don't know, what was it, 35 or 40 megawatts of wind power, has abandoned the project as being not fiscally sustainable. So I don't see Governor Murphy proposing regulations for things like the ampacity increase that all of these things are going to be required, and you know, the vision, electric grid vision is nowhere in here. I mean, so, but as the borough, we have our own electric utility, that we need to start planning for this today. Because we're gonna have people doing, you know, 200 amp service upgrades to get their level 2 chargers put in. And, you know, we looked at to say, do we have to put another set of transformers in, another set of mains maybe from PSE&G? This is big, and there's absolutely no planning from the state on this end of it, which I worked for this company as the state of New Jersey for years and seen many, many, many times. Hey, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Well, what about all the stuff you need to support it? We'll get to that. So, I mean, being on our team, I'd love to see us be out ahead of it. So, just fair warning, thanks to
Mayor and council have already authorized a consultant to go out and examine our electrical system for upgrades.
absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so
We're ahead.
it's good to hear that this is being considered now. But yeah, and the other thing is, they'll say, we're not coming for your gas stove. Yes, they are coming for your gas stove. They're not coming for you for today. They're not coming for it in 10 years. But 20 years? Yeah. The commercial buildings with the electric boilers, they backed off on those regulations this year. They're going to come back next year with those. They want to decarbonize the entire state, and those are worthy goals, but it's the getting there that needs the planning, right? So.
Yes, and with artificial timing, 235, why? Wouldn't it be more sense if 2050 and do it slowly? Yes, but...
Right, and once, there's going to be a great import market for used cars in New Jersey where gas cars are going to be brought in because there's still going to be the demand to buy them.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
government
know.
operation, so.
That's right.
All right, so thank you all.
Okay. Anyone else on first call? Second call?
Blinking
Yep.
lights.
Well, some might not believe that. Good evening, Mayor Krenzel, council members, Joe Donato. I live 30 Daly Street, lifelong resident here in South River. And again, the water situation has come up at the meeting. I apologize I wasn't able to be at last meeting. I got my dates messed up. But what had happened at the meeting just prior to the election, I believe it was October 23rd, I felt we needed some clarification, and that was in regard to the water distribution system evaluation report, which I had been asking for since May 25th of this year. On May 31st, I received an email from the municipal clerk advising me that the information wasn't available. The town engineer couldn't find it, and this was also noted in the minutes of October 2nd of 2023. That I'll read it here so I don't misquote anything. Joe Donato, 30 Daly Street. Mr. Donato speaks on a fire on Ferry Street and recent fires that have affected the water. Mr. Donato speaks on the ongoing water issue and makes a comment regarding a report from 1998 that no one can find. And that's what was conveyed to me by the borough. Now, on the 23rd, it was on the 18th, October 18th, a few days later, I received an email from the municipal clerk providing me with that document that the borough engineer found in their records, and I appreciated that. I reviewed that report, found other information I needed, and I put another open request for that, which within 2 weeks I had received that information. Now, at the council meeting on October 23rd, Councilman Gindi was very upset about the water problems we're having. Also having the water problem now at his home, which he's only a few blocks away from me, by the way. And I found that kind of surprising, because this is an issue that's been going on for long time. I'm talking about maybe 40 years, 45 years. And the reason why I know that, I was able to obtain the prior information based on, it was a report done in 1978 by ESP, which I believe at one time was part of CME. I don't want to go into that. Both of them done very, very well. They proposed what we should do, how we should do it, gave phases, and so forth. Now, apparently the 1998 report somehow or another got lost, and recently came up because in part because I had requested it, and it was found. So, Mr. Gindi apparently got a copy of that. And I assume, since it went to the town, that each one of the council members were privy to that document as well. Now, Mr. Gindi indicated that, besides being upset about the whole thing, that Sean Hauserman was on the committee and he should have basically taken care of everything. He hasn't done anything, et cetera, et cetera. And I just wanted everybody to know that I received the reports. I've received a couple of reports, by the way, not only that, which I doubt very much you should have, but I doubt if you do have them. They had names on them. And I said, probably the first time I spoke in front of the council, and I'm sure most people remember that, I said, let's stop naming names, pointing fingers, and jabbering about what should be done. We need to move forward. You got CME, you got the attorneys, you got everybody you need. You just got to give them direction. And again, Julie, Councilman Mary, also, or Councilwoman, excuse me, also has been saying the same thing, and I've been hearing it ever since I started coming to meetings. Honestly, this year is the first time I decided to come to meetings, and people have asked questions and have gotten nonsense answers, to be quite frank, and I'm very disappointed in that. You have two excellent reports. Yes, they're old. You have a few recent reports which sort of substantiate a lot of what those reports said. So we're going back many, many years. You have the information. You don't say that, oh yeah, we're coming up with a plan. You've had the plan. Why the town hasn't done anything about it, I can't tell you. I wasn't involved with it. I'm not going to point fingers or name names. All I can tell you is that 1998 report also had two other names of council members that are presently sitting here. I'm not going to name them. It's not important. The important thing is the information that's contained in the reports. You've got to take a look at this. You've got to analyze it. You may not need all the stuff that you're going to be requiring the new engineer to do. I'm concerned that you approach this whole project in a sensible manner where you're not wasting time and taxpayers' money. So far, I've not been encouraged by what's been going on. Now, I'm going to leave it at that, and if anyone in the council would like to ask me questions or criticize me in any way, now's the time to do it. But I understand that our mayor-elect is going to have a lot of this solved shortly. By that, I mean a few years. I will be here to see that. I'd like to see that. But do it wisely, do it economically, and go to the worst areas of the town first. Their family. And we have to take care of our family. I've got nice water in my house. I get occasional rust, just like everybody else does. But when I see what was been thrown over Facebook, and Mayor Krenza, you're right, they should be coming here and not putting it on Facebook. When I see that, That's not what I want coming out of my faucet, and I don't want to see coming out of their faucets. So let's put it together. Anybody has any questions or comments, criticisms, now is the time to do it. Congratulations to those who were successful in the election. You're going to have I'm assuming now, everyone's going to be on the same page. So I expect a lot of good progress to come within the next few years. No excuse. Pointing of fingers. You need somebody that's going to get you the money, so you have to have the qualified people on staff to do it. Okay? Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Mr. DeMar.
Okay. Did you have anything else you wanted to say before you go?
No, nothing.
No, nothing, Mr. Kurczynski, you're all set?
Yes.
Okay.
Pass it down. John?
I'll talk about this.
Mayor, if you would.
Yeah, I'll talk about it.
Okay. Anyone else on first call? Yes, please come.
Hello. My name is Francesca. I live at 34 Joseph Street here in South River. I've been a resident for about 2 years. I'm a nurse at Robert Wood Johnson, part of the United Steelworkers Union, and we've been on strike for more than 120 days. Since August 4th, 2023, we've been fighting for safe staffing. And so what's happening with Robert Wood Johnson? We've been on strike over 100 days, and we're fighting for a contract that is appropriate and enforceable for nurse to patient ratios. We are organizing nurses in our communities to go across and ask that we get support with the bill S304A4536 passed in our state. Why does staffing matter for nurses? Less staff leads to an increased patient mortality, poor outcomes for our patients such as infections and bed sores, longer stays at hospitals, medical errors, nurses leaving the profession altogether due to lack of support and stress. Why does safe staffing matter to every resident of New Jersey? At one point or another, a loved one of yours has been in the hospital, and due to that reason, you don't want them to be the 6th or 7th patient to that overworked nurse. If you are, or your loved one is, the chances of death increases by 7%. How do you win safe staffing in New Jersey? We can call and email our state legislators politely to pressure them to pass safe staffing bills. And yeah, I'm just here basically asking for support to pass those two state laws, because it's been a toll for us as nurses at Robert Wood Johnson, and all over the state as well, not just us, but we're fighting for everybody across the board when we ask for your support with the state laws, because with every increased patient that we get, it is a lot of stress on us, and it does take away time and resources and like patience that we can use like with our patients. A lot of times things don't get done and they get pushed over to the next shift and the next shift, and we see over and over again with patients that are misdiagnosed and mistreated. A lot of nurses, especially within the first 5 years of their profession, get a master's degree and they go into education or they go into administration, and a lot of nurses are being lost at the bedside. And this bill is passed in California. California is one of the only states that has safe staffing, and at the bedside, they're doing a lot better than New Jersey. And there's been a lot of like research done that shows that there is a 7% increase chance for every patient to have mortality with every increased patient for nurse. And it's been like a very emotional and like very stressful situation.
150 days is too much, but thankfully, hopefully, they've come to their senses and gave you a good contract. Would you send a copy of those bills to our clerk, and she'll send it out to us? We have one more meeting.
Okay.
Okay?
I was going to ask Mr. Mayor if, because I know they've been going to other council meetings as well. Do you guys have a resolution written up
We've
to
had
in
resolutions
support?
in other counties.
In other words, do you have one, a template?
A template? No, I don't have one with me, but I can
Well,
email.
no, then email it to, yeah,
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you for everything you do.
Okay. Anyone else on first call, second call, third call?
Move to close.
Motion is made by Ms. Bowles to close, seconded by Mr. Oliveira. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? The ayes have it. We've gone through the rest of the agenda. There's no new business. Any last comments? Mrs. Maron, do you have anything?
Yes. So first, I'd like to thank the USW to have somebody here to, in support of residents who work for Robert Wood Johnson. I know we have quite a few nurses that live in South River. I have been following you guys on Instagram, and I know all the support you guys have been getting from other towns in accomplishing wanting to get this bill passed. So I applaud you guys for never giving up. My next thing, I do want to say, we spoke about Vision Zero here in South River. I want to ask real quickly if by any chance we have begun or continued the Whitehead traffic study to the chief. Okay. Are we?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I spoke with Sergeant Ford the other day. I know he doesn't.
Okay.
I don't know how far he's gotten with it, but it's almost.
Okay, so I am hopeful that with the Whitehead traffic study, we can continue to push, especially with Vision Zero, to get more pedestrians, crosswalks or lights or anything to slow down the drivers on Whitehead, Main Street, all of our very busy roads, because we see those constant accidents. And this week we'll be reminded another 6 months have gone by since we lost that 14-year-old boy here in town. So just wanting to push to continue to fight for getting those types of money and grants for Vision Zero and improving our streets for walkability and for all of our residents. My next question, Mayor, I just want to say, I know we appointed some members to commissions this evening. We tabled the Human Relation Commission members, but yet we continue to approve other members. I'm hoping there's a rhyme or reason for it. I've had
They
people.
said so.
Yeah, I'm sorry?
I was at the Honduran Festival. They said, wait until the New Year. So, okay.
Okay. I've heard rumors that I don't want to believe that we are still thinking of dissolving the Human Relations Commission. I'm hoping that's something that doesn't happen. When we have volunteers and people that want to put in the work to improve South River, we should continue to offer those positions to people who want to do it. My other question this evening that I didn't get to ask was why Councilman Gindi was sitting in the audience this evening and not up here.
Councilman Gindi resigned, but don't worry, he'll be back on January 1st.
Okay, am I the only one that didn't get a notification for that? I thought we would be aware when council members resigned.
No, that's okay. I didn't get one either.
Yeah.
Found out this morning.
Okay, so Borough Clerk, can we get a copy of the resignation? I mean, we get them when people,
It over to the BA and the borough attorney after that.
okay,
I was
You
advised
can send
to
his
do.
letter out to all the council members and.
It's always required of the law. It's just that whoever wishes to resign has to file it with the clerk, and that's it. Again, I understand if the news was shocking, but it was shocking to receive Friday as well. So, but it's pretty pro forma because he's going to be the mayor. He can't hold two positions at once, so that's why he has to resign. Just a matter of timing.
okay. Well, it would have been good to receive the notification. because I didn't know about it. I just saw him sitting in the audience this evening, so, I mean, that's all I have for this evening. We still have one more meeting. I want to thank you for putting on first reading the changes that we put for the green team for our junior member. The only thing that I want to mention that shouldn't be a problem, because it does say the junior member is for 1-year term. We've been, as a green team, have been doing 1 school year, not calendar year. If that continues to be okay, that's just how the green team has worked, because like that we get a whole school year out of a child who's volunteering for the green team. I wouldn't think you'd have to change that. I just want to, mention it, since it's just says 1-year term. We've been doing 1 school year term.
Okay.
Other than that, we'll be here again at the end of the month. Thank you.
December 18th. Okay. Thank you. Mr. Oliver?
So, Mr. Gruchensi asked me to pass along that the VFW will be having a blood drive on December 15th, which is a Friday, from 12 to 5 p.m. in the main hall. There's a possibility that I may not be at the next meeting due to work obligations. So, Councilwoman Mara, I just want to thank you for everything. Being a guide, I know we may not always agree on everything or see eye to eye, but you have been an inspiration not only to the Portuguese community, but everything you've done. It really, I've spoken about this quite a bit, and it takes a special person to come and run. Whether you win or lose, everyone should be applauded for their efforts. And I just really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for accepting me as being a member of this, even though we're on the opposite sides. You've been very welcoming, and I really want to thank you for everything. And Mr. Mayor, you've been a mentor. You've been a rock bed for this community for, 12 years?
12 years, yeah. Yep.
Thank you. I know you're not going far. I will definitely be calling you. And just thank you. These positions, being mayor, council, very ungrateful positions, always negativity, but we stick together, whether red, blue, white, green, doesn't matter. And again, everyone that's up here should really be applauded for their efforts. And I want to thank the both of you guys for everything you guys have done for the last 2.5 years with me. And hopefully we can continue to see you guys on different committees and boards to continue to give back. So with that, Mayor, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Ballas?
Well, I have one more meeting with you guys, so I'll save that for that. But I do hope that you all continue to stay active in town. To the nurses, thank you for all you do. I have a sister who happens to be a nurse in Georgia. I saw what she went through during COVID and how she spent no time at home, or she actually had to send her family to a hotel to stay because she couldn't be in the same house. To anybody who works in the medical field, thank you so much. Thank you. And to those who celebrate, happy Hanukkah. That starts on Friday.
That's right. Happy Hanukkah.
You're welcome. That's it.
Yep. Thank you for coming forward with your report. I mean, we see a lot of it in the news, but as Councilwoman Mara said, it's right here in South River. It's not far away. The problems of staffing with nurses is right here, and it's appreciated that you did come. Just briefly, again, things going on in town, the tree lighting, excellent, the cheerleading spaghetti fundraiser. I stopped in. I didn't stay there because the noise level was somewhere that of a jet engine, but it seemed like everybody was having a fun time there, kids galore, and that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a fun time. Those things do go on in South River, will continue to go on in South River, and I hope that you're all part of it. Last time I finished up, I talked about the past. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the future. We can start off with the water utility. Over the years, beginning with Mr. Eppinger sitting up here, the water utility has been elevated to that of the electric utility. It was always the, forgotten stepchild. Not anymore. It is going to become an independent utility for water and sewer. There's no reason why to keep it into the current fund, and in fact, nowadays, it's financially not a good idea to have it. At one time, there were income tax reasons, but not anymore. So it's on its way to becoming the water and sewer utility, which means that the meter program, which keeps getting started and stopped, are going to be installed. So that's going to be coming to your house very soon, hopefully this next year. And that's the reason why we need to have accurate meters, so that we can have accurate sewer charges. At the same time, we're going to do the water line repairs and replacements. You heard Mr. Lindensky talk about that, about the fact that we're now looking at the data, going through it, and then make our plans in terms of doing it. I will tell you right now, because I'm not going to be here next year, and I can say anything I want, so it's going to cost a bundle. And yes, there probably are grants out there and loans. Somebody's got to pay them. And grants, the little secret about grants, usually they're matching grants. So yeah, the state will give us $1 million. You have to come up with $1 million. Expect a water utility increase next year. Other things that are going on, like the electric. Constantly we are keeping that running smoothly because, heaven help us, we have a 10-minute power failure. We hear about it. But we have to also get ahead of things, and we are doing it. You heard about that today. Yeah, electric vehicles, our beloved government above us. We're going to all go to electric. They did a study, average block, 7 houses. How many houses could actually have, superchargers there to do their vehicles? 2. But if we're all going to electric, what about the other 5? You're going to see the entire town rewired, and it's going to be more power is going to be needed. And where is that coming from? You keep reading reports. It's going to cost us a bundle, and it's not South River's fault. It's simply because we're getting rid of our nuclear, rid of our gas. So look out. That's coming down the future. Other stuff, little things that go on, making the library more accessible to the disabled, ditto the parks, having special places where the disabled can play, like on the swings and things like that. Recreation has exploded in the past few years. We're going to have to meet the challenges because people want to be part of our excellent recreation department. It looks as though we're going to need new fields to have and take care of all the baseball, the soccer, everything that's growing. Talking about cricket now, all different things that we're not used to, more things coming in, and possibly a recreation building. I remember those of us that are this side of the dinosaurs remember the old rec building on Whitehead Avenue there. That's something that's going to be looked at to now that we need a new one there. Redeveloping Main Street, something which has been talked about, but if we can bring more people onto Main Street, it helps us more customers for the businesses. To do that, we have planning. Saw the redevelopment ordinance passed today. We have to think new ways out of the box, doing things like eminent domain. That's something that hasn't been done in this town, but if we could buy an old derelict building because it's just been sitting there through eminent domain, or buy a vacant lot. A lot of times you just talk to the people who own it, and when they see, cheating money coming down the pipe for something that's a wasted time, hey, we'll do it. Well, it's an idea whose time may have come. Different ideas of the future, and of course we never know. Nobody ever expected Sandy to do what it did. We don't know what's coming up there, but we've got a good government, good people are working for us, so we know that we can handle anything that comes along. My next time, I will tell you some of my personal thoughts about being mayor. But if there's anything else to come before us, and if there isn't, may I have a motion to close?
Motion to close.
Motion by Mr. Oliveira, seconded by Mrs. Ballas. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? We'll see you on December 18th. We are adjourned.